Mr. Easy.
Alongside Superslide, the shining
From the
light.
days I saw you better, you are looking beautiful. And I really want to know which planet that you from. Then you came and kissed my lips.
Hey guys, welcome back to All Things Family Inspired. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe. I'm Rebecca Russ and I am your host for All Things Family Inspired. As parents, I believe that we should be teaching our kids important skills that when they grow up, it will be beneficial for themselves and the society. But I also know that sometimes this can be a bit of a hassle, can be a bit of a struggle when the kids are not understanding from our point of view what it is that we're trying to do. When they don't understand the good in what we are doing, it can be a challenge. So today I have come up with 8 tips on how you can lead your kids by example, teaching them skills that will be important, that will not just be beneficial for themselves, but also for the society. So, number 1, if you want to teach a child to trust you, it is important that you are also trusting them first. That's one way you can lead by example. It's important that we are teaching our kids to trust not just anybody, but to trust the right people. Which is why trusting them first gives them the encouragement to actually, in return, trust you too. Trust is a big issue when it comes to kids and parents. You must not be the type who betray your child, because what happens is that you kill that vibe of them coming to you when they have problems. So you must be trusting your children to do the right things, not absolutely leaving them out there by themselves, but trusting that they can do the right thing. That is by setting an example. Number 2 is to have some corrective measures as well as reward for good behavior. Corrective measures when something is not good, and reward when they have been good. And by doing this, it is important that you don't exclude yourself. So let's say you have a rule in your house that says no one is allowed to use a foul language, a bad language. If you, as a parent, accidentally use a bad language, it's important to lead by example by actually doing the necessary thing to tell your child that you are not above the law either. What that does is that it helps them to know that if mom or dad can do this to themselves, can correct themselves, I am not above the law, everyone must abide by these things. So that's another way that you can lead by example. Number 3, we need to be willing to admit our mistakes as a leader. As parents, we are leaders, and that is why we must admit our mistakes when we've gone wrong. Admitting your mistake is teaching your child to own up to their own mistakes when they make a mistake. You're telling them that it's okay that you've made a mistake, but you must be able to own up to it. And also not just that, teaching them to do the right thing after that has been done, to own the mistake and to move on by doing the right thing. So that's another way we can all lead by example for our children. Number 4 is don't be afraid. I repeat, Don't be afraid to ask your child for help. If you know that you are in a bit of a tight situation this week, you have so much to do and you just can't seem to get through it, it is important that you're telling the kids to step up to do something. Ask for help. I like to give this classic example. When I decided that I was going to go back to uni at one point, I remember telling the kids that, look, this is going to be a very challenging time. I'm going to need all of your help. My golden rule is that it is everyone's business for everyone to succeed in my house. That means that we are all stepping up and doing what we need to do. So I went ahead to ask all of them to be able to help out. We have a little baby in the house. That means that sometimes I might want to study and I would need them to be able to take care of the child, their little one. And that worked fine. Knowing that I asked them for help, it made them feel important. It made them feel like they were contributing to my studies. And that's exactly what it was. So it's important that we're leading by example in that way, asking for help if we need to. It might not just be that, it could be in other scenarios. But it's important that we are talking to them, telling them what it is that's happening, and also reaching out for their help when there's a need. In return, you teach them that they should be able to come to you if they need help. That's how they will know. And number 5, this is a very, very important one. A lot of times as parents, when we have gone down the road of age, we forget that we need to take care of ourselves. But what's happening is that you're not just doing this, taking care of yourself for yourself. You're also doing it for your children. You need them to know that they have to look after themselves. Because when you do look after yourself, well, you are then able to look after others. So your children are always watching you. This is why when you lead them, you need to be a good role model by teaching them to look after themselves. Be it your health, be it physical look, or just the things you do. You need to be modeling good, you need to be taking care of yourself so that they know that this is something that they have to do as well. So that's an important thing to remember. Number 6 is to be a positive role model for your kids. Being a positive role model for your kids is telling them that this is the path I need to go on to succeed, especially when you're doing well in life. Your kids want to be like you. So it is important that you're teaching them to know that they have to be positive. They need to work towards things with a positive mind, with a good attitude. It is important not to always be negative. Sometimes things can be quite challenging, but it's important that we are there and telling the kids that, look, yes, this has happened, but things will get better. We need to be teaching them that we got to persevere through things to be able to do life better. Not just to sit there and say, oh, I've made that mistake and I'm not going to be able to pass it. No, you need to put on some positive attitude. You need to put on some positive role modeling so that the kids can be able to follow your footsteps. Number 7 is to teach the children. Teach your children to know that they need to be loyal. Sorry, guys. Being loyal to your child help them in return to also be loyal to you. Have your kids back. I know sometimes we fall in this place of, oh, I must tell the other person. Sometimes kids come to you and tell you, look, I have done this, or this is happening, but I don't want you to tell dad, or I don't want you to tell mom. It's important to have their back. Unless if it's a life-threatening situation where you cannot handle it on your own, then I suggest you talk to the other person to find a better way out. You need to be having your kids back. If they have told you not to tell the other person, I would say keep it. Don't let them down. If you gave them your word, you must be loyal to that. Have their back. Because what happens is when you do that is that you're telling them that, look, this is important. It's important that when I have your back, you also in return have to be there for me. You need to open up to me. Know that I got your back. So yes, you need to have my back. As a family, we need to be there for one another. We need to be loyal to one another. That's the message you'll be sending out to them when you are a lawyer and having their back. That's the message you'll be sending to your kids. So that's an important one to remember. And the last point today, number 8, is teach your children to be independent. This is very, very important. As a parent, by doing this, you are teaching your children to be able to get out there and help themselves. So it is important, but for you to lead by example, you must be getting out there, doing things. If you need to learn a new skill to teach your child to be independent, to be able to get income from there, not just sitting all the time to rely on others to help you always. You need to be moving, you need to be doing things, learning new skills. Sometimes as just little as doing something, that they see you doing and they want to copy that. So it's important that we are teaching our children to be independent, not to rely on others' help all the time. Yes, it's important if you need help to ask for help, but it's also important that you are not being a liability to others. So by not always waiting for people to do things for you, you are teaching your child that when they grow up, when they are in that position, you're teaching them to be independent, to get out there and do things for themselves. That's an important thing to actually remember too. So thank you guys so much. I hope this will help, in any way. If you need to talk more, I'm always open for a discussion. You can leave a comment below, or you can email me on allthingsfamilyinspired@gmail.com. I will be willing to respond to that. And like I said, I'm Rebecca Russ, and I hope I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I love you all. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support. I truly appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe.
So take my hand, my girl, and sit right by my side. Let me play the song of love. I will play the song of love for you, baby girl.